Action.
Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Audio Alchemy, and I'm your audio alchemist, Rick Derringer. Today we have the special pleasure of having with us Les Dudek.
Hello everybody.
Here he is. And I started looking up all your credits and stuff knowing that we were going to be talking, and I realized I would be remiss to start telling everybody your credits because I didn't even know them all myself. It was blowing my mind. I said, look at all this stuff this guy's done. But what I'd like to know is, before we even get into all that, how did you get started? You know, when did you start playing, and what got you rolling?
I think it was the Ventures for me, man.
Me too!
It was like Nokia Edwards, man. He, like Slaughter on 10th Avenue blew me away.
Yeah.
Especially at the time zone, you know, like, I guess it was like 64 or something.
Yeah.
Something like that. But the tones that he was getting out of those Moserites at that particular time. And then, of course, the Beatles, you know, and all the British invasion, you know. But yeah, the Ventures.
Did you have your own band then? Did you create a band? Did you
We
start
had
playing with people?
It was almost like the Paul McCartney story where, you know, we had a band, we called it the Stepping Stones, and nobody played bass, so I had to play bass because the guitar player we had knew all the Venture tunes. So,
Wow.
So it's okay, you got that down. So
You had the Ventures stuff.
So
That's funny. My band, the McCoys,
right.
I didn't have a bass player either. It was just my brother and I. He played drums, I played guitar. My neighbor got a bass. He said, but you'll have to show me how to play it. Well, I never played an electric bass. When I saw one, we went, wow, look at that, a brand new Fender bass and Fender Bassman. So what I did was, I had to figure out some song. So I got out my Ventures album, and on there was a song, the easiest song on the album, so I could show him, figure it out and show him how to play it, was a song called The McCoy.
Oh,
and so
convenient.
Yeah, so I showed him how to play the song, and we all played it then together, a three-piece. We went, wow, we're a band!
Yes.
If we called ourselves the McCoys, we actually have a theme song.
There it is.
It didn't matter that we only knew one song, but that was the impetus. That's what got the McCoys started. So the Ventures, was that for you too?
Yeah, that was it for me. I mean, I even had an idea once to do a spoof off of them and call it the Dentures.
The Dentures.
You know, and do just theme songs from TV shows.
You know, that's good.
So we already got our hits, man.
Yeah, there are a lot of dentists that have rock and roll that play guitars and stuff. They probably have bands that we've given them a new name. The Dentures.
The Dentures.
The next dentist band.
There it is.
That's out there. And so what'd you do after that?
You know, just, you know, the Teen Center Shuffle, you know, like I played in that band was the Stepping Stones, actually, and then I played bass, you know, and then I went from that to a band we had called the United Sounds.
United Sounds, that's cool.
Just call us, you know, US, United Sounds, you know. And
that's good. I like that.
Yeah. And that was a morph, you know, like some of the guys went to Vietnam, and I kind of took over one of the guys' spot that actually taught me how to play Johnny Be Good, you know.
That's good.
And on a white SG, you know, like a 63 that he had, you know.
I love those guitars.
Yeah, that's why I got another one, just because of that, you know, just to have one. But then, you know, I went from that to, we had a band called Blue Truth, you know, and there was another band called Power. That was my last local band before I started making records.
And when records, what does that mean? What was the first ones you started doing?
The first record I made was a little song called Ramblin Man with the Allman Brothers.
Ramblin Man. Now that brings up a whole story.
Yeah.
You played with the Allman Brothers, didn't you?
Yeah.
You were a guitarist with the Allman Brothers.
Well, it was, you know, like I was being romanced by Phil Wald, and he was like, you know, Les, I'm going to make you a star. And I was like, how's that? And he said, well, I'm going to put you in Allman Brothers. I mean, when I went there to make it, it was right after Dwayne passed, okay? So it was really some weird times, you know, it was really, I mean,
yeah,
it just took the wind right out of everybody's sail because that was Dwayne's band.
Yeah.
So we had this keyboard player, his name was Pete Schless, and he knew Dickey because he grew up in Venice, you know, Florida. And so he got wind that Dickey didn't know what was going to happen with the Allman Brothers, so he was looking for players. So we got in my '67 Cougar, man, and we darted up to Macon, Georgia, and hung out with Dickey for a weekend. jammed and hung out and so, you know, just and felt kind of the mood that was going on. And then that was it. And then we went home, you know, and then I got a call about a week later to come back. You know, so I did. I went back and I ended up moving back up there. And then they were still kicking around a lot of ideas what they wanted to do, if they were going to do another record, if they were going to dissolve the band or whatever. And then it finally just became obvious that no, we need to just do another record.
Yeah.
So they were cutting. Ramblin Man was the first song they cut for the Brothers and Sisters album, and that was with Barry Oakley playing bass also. One of the great things I liked about Dickey was once, you know, I was a pallbearer at Barry Oakley's funeral, you know, and they were, when they got Lamar Williams, they were talking about redoing his bass parts, and that was the last bass. That was the last song that Barry Oakley played bass on.
Wow.
So Dickey says, no, we're going to keep that. We're going to keep Barry. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Barry was there the whole time. He was one of the founding members.
Right.
And he died without even seeing the success that it made. And, you know, he was there from the get-go, and rightly so. And the bass part was great. You know?
Yeah.
There's no reason to take it off. So
you're playing on Ramblin Man.
yeah, I was in the control room. Dickey invited me down that night, and I was in the control room. They were cutting it, and he would come back, you know, in the control room, saying, "So what do you think about that one part?" You know, he kept asking me, and I'd give him my 2 cents, you know, and so we just kept going back and forth. And finally, he just said, "Look, man, why don't you just come on out and play it with me?" You know, and so I did, you know, and I helped him arrange those parts, but that was Dickey's song, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, but I helped him arrange them. So I actually played like half the guitar parts on it.
Wow, that's fabulous.
All the lead stuff.
That's fabulous. I'm
And
going
he
to listen
wanted-
closely for it now.
He wanted to kind of mirror what Dwayne did on the Layla thing. So it was like a tribute to Dwayne also.
Now, isn't there some confusion or did Dickey cheat you out of your writer's credit on a song?
Yes, he did. In fact, he even to the point where he marched me into Phil Walden's office and he told Phil that I'd written on Jessica. You know, and what happened was you know, my girlfriend and I were hanging out, and then we get a call in from Sandy Blue Sky and Dickey. It's like, "Hey, come on over, man. We're gonna make some steaks. Bring your guitar with you," you know. So I did, and you know, the first thing he wanted to do, look, man, I got this part, man. Look at this, and it was great. You know, he showed me the rhythm part, and he showed me the lead part, which would have been equivalent to the verse section. You know?
Yeah.
But that's it. That's
all he had.
He was like, he had a brain fart after that. He just, you know how it is, writer's block. You get to where you got a great idea, but now where's it gonna go? You know, so
That's why I start with the chorus.
that's a good one to start with.
Yeah.
And that's what it needed. It needed relief to the song. It needed a bridge section, which it only does it twice in the song, but it really counts. You know,
Yeah.
it's part of the song. So you know, we were kicking around, and Dickey got a little frustrated and said, "I'm gonna go check on the steaks." You know, so we went in the kitchen, and I hung with it. I stuck with it. And when he came back, he said, "Dickey, come here. What do you think of this?" You know, the song is in A. You know, I said, you know, like for relief, drop it down to G.
Yeah.
And do this riff, you know. And so he started lighting up, you know, like, "Oh, you might be onto something here," you know. So, and then, you know, we're building up, you know, and it's like building. He goes, what now? I said, "Just stop." And then what? Start over.
Right.
So that's, you know, it was like, wow, it's like a light bulb went off. And we ended up throwing the guitars, hell with the steaks, you know, we threw the guitars in the back of the pickup truck, and it started lightly snowing outside. And we were going to go try to find Greg and everybody and play it for him, you know, because now at least the song was far enough along where now we can go in the studio and really start working on it and developing as the band, because then there were other walk-ups and walk-downs and the way it goes into the keyboard solos. And
Right.
and so, but now we finally had something we could go in, and that's kind of the way that started.
Wow.
And so then we get ready to go in the studio to do it, and Dickey comes up to me, and he goes, "So Les," he goes, "You know, we already did all the big guitars on Ramblin Man and everything. And he says, I really don't want the critics to think you're going to be in the band, so can you just play the acoustic guitar on it? I was like, I didn't mind because I co-wrote the song. I didn't
Right, so
care.
you're,
Sure,
so
all
you're
right.
figuring co-writing.
And Chuck Leavell was gonna, they wanted to, you know, and they were kind of ping pong. They didn't know if they wanted to add another guitar player or another keyboard player at that time. And, you know, I didn't really care. It was their band. They do what they want, you know. But as it turns out, it was Chuck, and they wanted me to in fact, after the thing came out, that's how I hooked up with Scaggs when he came to town. And Walden was like, hey, I'm going to put you in Allman Brothers. You know, I don't know if this is going to work out or not. It's like, you know, Chuck was doing a great job.
Yeah.
But it was just their signature sound was the two guitars,
Right,
structured in harmony stuff.
which every band still emulates.
Yeah.
All the modern Grateful Dead, Fish
Yeah.
bands,
Yes.
they all emulate that two-guitar melody.
Orchestrated sound.
That simple, I don't know what you call it, sixth melody in there.
Well, like what
They
Dwayne
emulate
used to-
it, all of them.
Dwayne used to always say, let's just take simplicity and make it intense.
Yeah,
You know, so that was that thing. But that was their signature sound, and a lot of them knew it. Walden knew it, this and that. But anyway, so it just came down where Dickey said, look, you know, we'll you know, let's go and talk to Phil, and he explained it to him, and I helped him co-write it. But then some stuff happened, and they just swept me on the rug. You know,
that's just not right.
well, it's just, you know, that's what happened. You
It's
know?
not right.
And the other part is I was already signed lock, stock, and barrel. And as the story progresses on, you know, I was with Scaggs, and